What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. In today's video, I want to talk to you about not fishing anymore. I did a video about fishing and that you should be doing it, but you're going to reach a point where you're not able to fish enough to handle your prisoner's misery level. So I'm going to show you an easy way to get these fish that you don't have to be actively involved with. Now, the fish are important for your prisoners. So once you have prisoners and you are draining their blood, what happens is their health goes down and their misery goes up. Now, you're going to want to manage their health and their misery so that you can drain them for as long as possible. The goal would be that you're able to keep your 100% or your best ones forever. You want to be able to manage their misery and their health properly. Now, the health is really easy. You could just feed them rats to get their health up. The misery is where you need the more rare fish. So you're going to need the sagefish and the rainbow trout. The sagefish is going to heal the prisoner from 30% to 70% of their health and reduce their misery between 15% and 30%. This is obviously the better of the two, but since getting these fish is RNG, it can be very difficult to manage them. So you need to get as much of these fish as possible so that you're always able to manage that blood, and that way you're running around with good blood all the time. So you're either going to be using the rainbow trout, which is going to cure 5 to 10% of their misery, or you're going to be using the sagefish, which is going to cure a lot more of their misery, 15 to 30%. But you have to have these in order to keep those prisoners from dying, because the misery stacks on top of the damage done for draining their blood. So let me show you some of the results of what I've been doing. So this prisoner brought back 3 fat gobies and 1 rainbow trout. This prisoner brought back 2 rainbow trout, 1 sagefish, and 1 fat goby. On this trip, he returned with 4 rainbow trout, 2 fat goby, and 1 sagefish. On this trip, this prisoner brought back 1 sagefish and actually 2 of the twilight snappers, which is not used in this application, but it is something that people are looking for in order to summon the putrid rat. And then for the hunts that just got back this morning, you can see I have a sagefish and 2 fat goby in this inventory. And then this guy brought back 4 fat goby and a sagefish. He's also bringing back the fierce stinger, which you guys should not be dismantling this. You should be saving this for late game potions. So let me show you where you need to be sending these guys, and hopefully you know already how to use your throne and your servants. You're going to want to gear them up and equip them to go out to the different areas of the map and harvest resources. And you can hover over all of these different spots, and it's going to tell you what resources you're actually able to get. The first place that you want to send them is Mosswick Village. Now, you can start doing this very early. This area only requires a gear level of 500, but if you have the humble appearance, that's going to lower the gear level by 100. So you want a worker blood type in order to get the humble appearance, and then it's great if you can get them from the Dunley Farms, because that's going to give you an additional 20% resources. So we're just going to click add, and we're going to take Bort here and send him in there. So his gear level is high enough that he's going to get the 100% chance, even though he doesn't have the humble appearance. It would be easier to do the humble appearance. I wouldn't have to put him in as good of gear, but this will work just fine. He does have the Dunley Farms Hunter, so he is going to receive that 20 additional percent, but you can see on the list here is fresh fish, and that's what I'm actually going after. For me, anything else that he brings back is just a bonus. I'm really looking for him to bring back the fat goby, the rainbow trout, and the sagefish. Now, I always do these as a 23-hour hunt duration. I found that I get the most rainbow trout and sagefish when I send them on the 23-hour hunt duration. If I send them on 16, I get less. If I send them on 2, I've had them come back with no fish at all. So the 23-hour for me has been the best possible way to go. The other location is way out here in Silverlight, and it's going to be the Brighthaven docks. If you don't know, this little section here is actually split into 4 different sections where you're going to get different resources from each one. So do look at what the resources are in that area. But we want the lower left-hand side in order to get the fresh fish. You can see it there. They're also going to bring back schematics and other general loot that can be good for your gameplay. But we're after the fish. It is all about maintaining your prisoners. So we're going to assign Paige. She actually fits both of these perfectly. So she has the humble appearance and she is a Silverlight hunter. So when we select that for her, she gets a 100% chance. It does lower that difficulty to 550. And we're going to send her on a 23-hour raid because that's how we're getting the most of those more rare fish. And that's it. Those are the 2 locations. It's Mosswick Village and then Brighthaven Docks. Those are the 2 locations that are going to bring you fresh fish. And if you send them on the longer hunt, they're going to bring you the most fresh fish. I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button that says join on this page. Click that for details. There's 2 videos on the screen. Click one of those to watch next, and I'll meet you over there.